Good evening, Eagles Nation, and welcome to your go-to source for all things Philadelphia Eagles. Can you believe the roller coaster we've been on this week with those wild trade rumors swirling around our star wide receiver, A.J. Brown? I mean, come on, trading A.J. Brown? That's like trading cheesesteaks for tofu in Philly. Let's dive into the latest from South Philly, unpack this drama, and talk about what it means for our birds as they soar toward the playoffs. Buckle up, because this is going to be one heck of a ride. First, let's set the scene. The NFL trade deadline came and went earlier this week, and the rumor mill was churning at full speed. Social media, talk shows, even your cousin's group chat. Everyone was buzzing about whether A.J. Brown, one of the Eagles' most electrifying playmakers, might be packing his bags. But hold the phone, folks. Those rumors got obliterated faster than a Dallas Cowboys playoff run. Eagles GM Howie Roseman stepped up with the kind of swagger only a Philly legend can muster, shutting down the speculation with a verbal bazooka. When you're trying to be a great team, it's hard to trade great players, and A.J. Brown's a great player, Roseman said, his words dripping with conviction. He wears the C for a reason. He's an important part of this team, this organization. He cares about winning. He cares about his teammates. Boom! That's the kind of leadership that keeps the green and white flying high at Lincoln Financial Field. Now, let's talk about A.J. Brown himself. The man was cool as a cucumber when he spoke to reporters after Thursday's practice. The team's first since their dominant 38-20 win over the New York Giants on October 26. When asked about the trade rumors, Brown didn't flinch. "You can't focus on it," he said, leaning back at his locker with that signature confidence. "My attention was on my family. Because what was going to happen was going to happen. I can't stop it." That's the mentality of a veteran who's seen it all, focused, unfazed, and ready to let his play do the talking. When pressed if he still wanted to be an Eagle, he kept it short and sweet. "Have I said anything to not be here?" "Yeah." 9 words, folks, but they spoke volumes. And when asked about his state of mind, just 4 words. "I'm ready to go." That's the A.J. Brown we know. Locked in, ready to torch the fences, and hungry for another Super Bowl run. But let's get to the juicy part. Eagles fans. The performance that had us all chanting, "Fly, Eagles, fly," after that Giants game. The Eagles offense was firing on all cylinders, racking up a season high in total yards and outgaining New York like it was a walk in Fairmount Park. Jalen Hurts, our franchise quarterback, was dealing, throwing 4 touchdown passes with the kind of precision that makes you wonder if he's got a laser pointer in that arm. And the running game? Oh, baby, it was a thing of beauty. Saquon Barkley and Tank Bigsby became the first Eagles running back duo in 12 years to each rush for over 100 yards in a single game. That's right, 12 years. The last time we saw that was back in 2013 with LaShawn McCoy and Bryce Brown tearing it up. Saquon was weaving through defenders like he was dodging traffic on Broad Street, while Bigsby powered through like a SEPTA bus. Together, they gave Philly fans a glimpse of what this offense can do when it's clicking. Now, let's zoom in on A.J. Brown's role in all this. Even with the trade rumors swirling, Brown was out there doing what he does best, running crisp routes, making jaw-dropping catches, and being the heart and soul of this receiving core. When asked about the offensive performance, he laughed off the idea of overanalyzing it, saying, "Guys, I'm not a coach." Classic A.J., keeping it real. But he did admit the team is trending in the right direction, and you can feel the excitement building. Brown's not one to get caught up in the noise. "I don't have a process," he said about handling the rumors. "It is what it is. I've learned that and I've accepted that." That's the mindset of a captain. Folks, a player who's all about the grind, not the headlines. Let's put this in context, because the Eagles' history is rich with moments that define this franchise. Think back to 2017, when Nick Foles, Zach Ertz, and a relentless defense brought home Philly's first and only Super Bowl title, stunning Tom Brady and the Patriots in a 41-33 thriller. That victory cemented the Eagles as a force in the NFL and the passion of this fan base. Singing Sweet Caroline in the stands and chanting EAGLES on the streets became legendary. Fast forward to today, and this 2025 squad is channeling that same energy, with Jalen Hurts at the helm, a dual-threat quarterback who's drawing comparisons to Donovan McNabb, and a receiving duo of Brown and Devonta Smith that's as dynamic as any in the league. The Eagles are built for another deep playoff run. Add in Saquon Barkley, who's proven to be worth every penny of his blockbuster contract, and a defense anchored by Hasten Reddick and Darius Slay. And you got a team that's got the NFC East on notice. Speaking of the NFC East, let's talk rivalries. The Eagles-Cowboys feud is the stuff of legend. Think Reggie White sacking Troy Aikman or Brian Dawkins, leveling anyone who dared cross the middle. And don't sleep on the Giants, who've been a thorn in Philly's side since the days of Tiki Barber. That 38-20 beatdown at MetLife Stadium wasn't just a win, it was a statement. The Eagles are 5-3 this season, sitting pretty in the division, but the Cowboys and Commanders are lurking. Oh! And speaking of the Cowboys, there's buzz about their trade for Quinnen Williams from the Jets. Could that bolster their defensive line enough to challenge Philly's high-powered offense? We'll see, but I wouldn't bet against Jalen Hurts and company. Now, let's bring in a fictional expert for some analysis. I caught up with longtime Philly sports radio host Mikey Miss, inspired by the real-life legend, for his take on the Eagles' trajectory. Look, this team's got the pieces, Mikey told me. A.J. Brown is a game changer. 6 feet 1 inch, 226 pounds, hands like glue, and the heart of a lion. You don't trade a guy like that. Howie Roseman knows it, Nick Sirianni knows it, and the fans know it. Pair him with Devonta Smith, who's slinkier than a South Street pretzel vendor. And you got a receiving core that keeps defensive coordinators up at night. The key? Keep Hurts healthy and let Saquon eat. If they do that, I'm calling it now. Philly's back in the NFC Championship game minimum. Statistically, the Eagles are trending up. That Giants game marked the first time this season they outgained their opponent, with 412 total yards to New York's 297. Hurts completed 68% of his passes, a career high for a single game, and his 4 touchdowns tied his personal best. Brown himself hauled in 6 catches for 92 yards and a score, proving he's still the go-to guy in clutch moments. Compare that to last season, when the Eagles finished 11-6 but stumbled in the wild card round against Tampa Bay. This year, they're on pace for 10 or 11 wins, and with the NFC wide open, sorry Lions and Niners fans, Philly's got as good a shot as anyone at making a Super Bowl run. But what does this all mean for the rest of the season? The trade deadline drama is behind us, and A.J. Brown staying put, which is huge for team morale. Imagine the locker room vibe if they'd shipped out their captain. Instead, the Eagles are rallying around their stars, with Coach Nick Sirianni preaching unity and focus. We're building something special here, Sirianni might say in a post-game presser. AJ's our guy, Jalen's our guy, and this city's behind us. Looking ahead, the Eagles face a tough stretch, division games against Dallas and Washington, plus a showdown with the defending champion Chiefs. If they can keep the offense humming like they did against the Giants, and if their defense, led by stalwarts like Josh Sweat and Jalen Carter, keeps pressuring quarterbacks, Philly could lock up the NFC East by mid-December. Let's sprinkle in some Eagles trivia to keep things fun. Did you know the Fly, Eagles Fly fight song, sung by 70,000 fans at the Link, was first performed in 1938? Or that Lincoln Financial Field, opened in 2003, was built on the site of the old Veterans Stadium, where Randall Cunningham once dazzled and Buddy Ryan's defenses terrorized opponents. And here's a pop culture nod. Philly's own Kevin Hart was spotted at the Giants game, hyping up the crowd in his Eagles gear. That's the kind of energy this city brings. Hollywood meets Broad Street grit. So what's next for our Birds? They're back in action this Sunday against the Commanders, a team that's been sneaky good this year, with rookie QB Jaden Daniels. It's a chance for A.J. Brown to keep shining, for Jalen Hurts to keep slinging, and for Eagles fans to keep the Link rocking. My prediction? Philly rolls 31-24, with Brown snagging a touchdown and Saquon breaking off a 50-yard run. But don't take my word for it. Tune in and see for yourself. All right, Eagles Nation, it's time to get loud. Head to the Link, crank up Sweet Caroline, and let's show the NFL why Philly's the toughest place to play. Follow us for more updates, analysis, and all the Eagles action you can handle. Fly, Eagles, fly. Until next time, this is your Eagles Insider, signing off. Total characters, 6,142.